Hey guys, welcome back to Man Scout Survival. I'm Fred. Today, I'm going on a good old hiking trip in the Mississippi Palisades State Park, just 2 hours away from Chicago, right on the Iowa border. So, if you don't mind, please click the like and subscribe button. And before we begin, leave a comment below. Now, let's get to it. Without a backpack, of course, since I have just my good old Garmin Instinct watch right here and my trusty old Leatherman rebar right there. That's all I got for this hiking trip. So other than that, let's get started. All right, let's begin this trail with good old steep climbing a little bit. So right here, it's going to be a very steep hill. I can see some footprints of different animals or people walking up this trail. So I've got to be very careful. There could be slippery ice here. It's 25 degrees. So, yeah. Obviously, the coyote footprints. I don't know if you see them, but we're starting off with the Aspen Trail. So, yeah, when we get to checkpoint, I will give you an update. All right. Okay. So in this case, I just got on top after a little bit of a steep uphill battle. So this is the trail on the Aspen Trail right here. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's a really deep ravine down there. Probably not good to go off the trail if you're not hunting, because you might fall and you might twist an ankle if you're by yourself. So, oh shit. Thought I heard something. Never mind. I think I'm getting a little too paranoid. Oh yeah. So this is the Aspen Trail. This is just the beginning part of the trail after an uphill battle. So other than that, if you are looking for a nice nature walk, this trail is for you. Without this, with just a Leatherman rebar here. All I did was just saw this thing down, and technically I sawed it down and I used my foot to kick it off. So that goes to show you, you could still survive with just a Leatherman rebar. So other than that, let's get back on the trail quickly, y'all. So look at that. This trail is covered in snow. So if it was deep snow, it would have been a whole different story. Man, oh, we got to be very careful. You don't know if there's a root there or something like that, or a tree that's kind of leaned over to or on the ground that you could trip. So always try to make sure that if you do have to go winter hiking, always make sure you watch your step. And so far, I'm not sure how far I walked, but I'm going to figure out where I'm going to go, since I only got like 3 hours of sunlight left and I got to get back. Hey everyone, so we're at the checkpoint here. We're at the intersection where the Goldenrod Trail starts and the Aspen Trail intersects with each other. So in this case, I'm going to go around for the Aspen Trail, going over there instead, because on the next video on the Mississippi Palisades winter camping trip, I might be going over to the Goldenrod Trail, which I will show you down the road. So other than that, let's get to it. Oh my God. So I see a lot of footprints here. I do see some human footprints, but I see a lot more game footprints, like deer, because I did stumble upon deer scat and urine. So yeah, it's pretty, I'm technically thinking this is a game trail on the Aspen Trail. And I did see a little bit of animal droppings. So like I said, I have a good feeling this is a game trail. So let's get to it. And this is what it is so far. Yeah, I see a little hill down there. So yeah, I mean, it's 25 degrees. I'm wearing like my heavyweight thermals and my lightweight thermals underneath me. And it goes to show you, you don't need all those flashy clothing and all those flashy gadgets in order to survive. Like I said, you just got to be smart. Now you see right there, that's a deer scat, for example. Now that's a good indicator in a survival situation. Game trails lead to water sources and bed, and then game trails can also mean food if you could hunt it. But I'm not going to hunt this year because it's the season's out until the end of this 2026. So other than that, let's continue on this trail. So this right here is campsite Bravo. So if you don't mind, this is a primitive campsite that's open around the Memorial Day all the way into Labor Day, according to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. So this is campsite B. This is a primitive campsite where you have no water or electricity. You're on your own. You're just using the forest as your natural environment to build fire, for example. Okay, so you notice here, oh, these thorns here. So you see right there, that's what the bark is peeling off. And yes, it does peel off naturally, but there are times where a deer would use the trees to rub its antlers on if it's got velvet, because the goal is deer shed their, especially the males, will shed their antlers every year. So that's a good way to find deer and game in case you need to find food in a long-term survival situation. Ooh wee. Get off of me. And thorns. Ooh. All right. Now let's get going. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm at the intersection of the Aspen and the Bittersweet Trail right here. So I've been walking for about 1.3 miles. So that's pretty good at the beginning stages here. But I'm not going to walk too long because I only got like maybe 2 or 3 more hours until the sun sets here. The sun sets pretty early at 5:07 p.m. here during the winter months on average. So other than that, this is the intersection of the Aspen and the Bittersweet Trail. Now let's continue forward on the Aspen Trail, y'all. So over here is a very deep ravine right here. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a very deep ass ravine. So sorry if I make the adjustments there. But right here is a very so deep that just you could slide down and you could injure yourself if you're not careful. So other than that, let's get moving. So we got a steep hill coming down here. Oh my God. Ooh, almost tripped. And we gotta be careful because little tree stumps here can make you trip because you can't see underneath that ground. So always try to take your time and make sure you leave as early as you can if you want the best experience. So other than that, this is going to be a very, very, very tricky situation here, especially with unpaved trails like this one at the Palisades in Savannah, Illinois. Okay, so this is the start of the Bittersweet Trail. We're going to follow this route all the way to the parking lot since we're running out of daylight. So, and we can't be here after dark since we do not have a permit to camp here for the night. So other than that, this is the start of the Bittersweet Trail. And let's get rocking and rolling. Oh man, look at that hill right there. That's some steep hill right there, along with some power lines. Oh my God, dude. Look at that. Oh my God. Wow. Now, don't think that Illinois is just a flat land of prairie. It's got a little bit of everything, a little bit of a mountains, cliffs, whatever. It feels like the American West. So or the eastern part, or the Appalachian trails. So don't underestimate Illinois on its natural resources and its natural beauty. You could still hike around the area with some nature. Because when we think of Illinois, we think of Chicago and all that. But don't think Chicago, don't think just because you live in Chicago doesn't mean that you could enjoy the outdoors. You could still enjoy the outdoors anywhere outside the city of Chicago or the Chicago suburbs. So right here is cedar bark. This cedar bark can be used to light a fire. That's one of the second best trees that you could use for your tinder bundle if you really need it most. So that's a quick tip if you really need to start fire using natural materials. And it's very useful to start fires in all sorts of weather conditions. Rain, snow, heat, or mild temperatures. So other than that, I hope you learned something new. If you did, click the like and subscribe button. Okay, so this is Pyramid Campsite C, or I call it Campsite Charlie. So in here, this is where I placed my hammock between these two trees right here 2 years ago. And this is one of the best campsites I've ever been, but it was it was okay in my opinion. Had a lot of bugs. It was around May 2024, 2 years ago. So yeah, I mean, other than that, it's a primitive campsite where you had to bring a lot of things, and of course water, and water is heavy. So yeah, let's try to keep it simple. So other than that, this is Primitive Campsite C, or Campsite Charlie, whatever you want to call it. Now let's get moving. So far, according to my watch, I've been walking for 1 hour and 38 minutes now, almost 2 hours now. So I'm running out of daylight, and I'm sorry if I could not get this camera stable, but this is all I have for now. I really could use a GoPro so I could give you a first-person look without the use of the camera stand. So I'm still on the Bittersweet Trail, and it's still pretty tight. As you can see, not a lot of walking space, but other than that, it's a very, very tight trail. And you see, That's a fallen tree that you could use for shelter in a survival situation. Okay, everyone. So that was a very close one. But I did not get the whole trail system in the north. Looks like I'm going to have to come back another time. But I promise I will show you on the next hiking trip out there. So if this is coming to the end of this video, and if you like the video, please click the like and subscribe button and leave a comment below. This is Man Scout Survival. I will see you on the next outdoor adventure, and please subscribe and support the channel. Thank you.